Does the professor you have for ECO 101 matter? Is there a difference? Is there a difference between Professor Freitas and Professor Gazzale, Professor Brandt and Professor Farhoodi? The answer, of course, is yes. There's a difference. In some cases, it could be a big difference. Although the material and the topics on the syllabus and the way the lesson is presented on the slides may be very similar, the way the question is asked, the style of it is asked, the level of difficulty will be different. And therefore, you might want to consider that before you continue. I think it's pretty well known that Professor Gazzale is the best professor in terms of the teaching of it. He's won awards. People have told me that. I have seen and heard bits and pieces of his lectures. And in terms of the teaching, I would say he's probably the best. Professor Freitas, questions, I've never heard her teach. The feedback I heard from her students that I've helped over the many years have been average. Certainly she appears to be a nice professor. She teaches the material in a way that there is no real comment. She's okay, I guess. But I believe, from judging by her tests and comparing to Professor Gazzale's tests, is I believe her tests are a little bit on the easier side. Not easy, easier. Okay? So don't be thinking that, I got to take it with Freitas, she's easy. She's not easy. Her questions are tricky. Her questions are tricky in a way that is a little bit in a weird way. It's not really in a way that you would expect a hard question to be. It's hard in a weird way, and as you practice her past tests, as I'm sure you have been doing already, you'll see. So I think in terms of the level of difficulty, I would say Professor Freitas is relatively easier than Gazzale. Then what about Professor Brandt? He's been here for many, many years. He's taught second-year economics. He teaches third-year economics as well. And I would say his teaching style is more laid back, more casual. And his tests are fair. So I don't think of his tests as hard in a tricky way. Again, not easy, but fair. You do the work, you get the marks. He's not out to get you. Not saying the other professors are, but Professor Brandt probably, I would say, is easier than Professor Freitas. So far he's the easiest of the three, I would say. Professor Farhoodi hasn't been teaching ECO 101 too long at U of T, so the jury is out. Not clear. I would say, from the students I've helped out, that he's more mathematical, and so therefore, from a mathematical perspective, he would be a little bit expect more mathematical related questions from him. So those are a quick review. The bottom line is, it does matter. Do you want to take it with the best prof that teaches the material? We all do. I would say all of the professors are great teachers, but there is slight differences that are worth noting, and those differences could make a difference for you. If the bottom line for you is, I want to be taught by the best, and I want to face challenging questions because that's the purpose of coming to U of T for me, then definitely I would say, hands down, Professor Gazzale. If you're saying to yourself, well, great teaching is preferred and desired, but I would say that I want the marks a little bit more so. So therefore, perhaps Brandt or Freitas would be slightly better, right? So it all depends on your preferences, objectives, constraints, right? The bottom line is, do not choose a course that fits your schedule. Oh, I'm only available Mondays at 11 or Tuesdays at 12. That's convenient so that I can finish my classes by Thursday. I would advise strongly against that. The courses and the professors and the time slots that are chosen should be based on your objectives and being convenient, and so when you can go home and all that kind of stuff is irrelevant. So I hope you have some more beneficial insight and advice, and it's not too late to change sections. So if you want to take it with the easier professors, perhaps a Brandt, a Farhoodi, a Freitas is a little bit easier. If you want any more feedback on this, let me know. commercetutoring.com, ecotutoring.com. If you need help and you want to get ready, feel free to give me a call, send me an email. So, once again, the professors are different, the tests are different, and the final exams are different. There are certain parts of the final exams that are the same. There are other parts that are different, and the tests are entirely different. They're not the same. The level of difficulty is not the same. So I thought knowing this at the first week of classes would be relevant and useful for those who want to be a little bit strategic. It is my personal view that taking it with the best professor in terms of how you can prepare for the test is the best choice. For me personally, I want to be able to score well after putting in a good amount of practice, studying, and hard work. And so that was always my objective, and your objective might be different. You make the decision. It is your education, and so therefore I just provide a little insight from my experience, from my feedback that might help you out. So I hope you found this useful. Thank you. Good luck.